I don't want to leave him now. You know
Oh,
I
I believe in how.
Do 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 do. You're asking me, will our love grow? Gawin in kakain dancing. You stick around and it may show. Gawin in kakain dancing. La 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 la. Dum ba da dum ba dum ba dum ba da dum bum. I'm trying to write a song for the show today, but I can't rhyme no how and no way. Boozhoo
Ni jana shana bedu.
ni wika kike
Bangi noon goon.
Natasha indigenous cause
Benja magnin dun jipa.
Wait a hey
Wait a hey a ho.
I don't know. I can't really think of what would be a good song.
Oh, I think that was a pretty good song. Hey, Boozhoo! Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nanaboozhoo. Over here, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Nikadon Boozhoo, Weenie Mushane. Say hello, sweetheart.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
And over here, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Nikadon Boozhoo, Niji. Say hello, my brother. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. How you doing, buddy? I'm great. How are you? You know, I can't complain. Hey, congratulations. What do you mean? Didn't you make $140 in book sales this month? Yeah, I totally did. Can you thank the viewers? Well, I don't think the viewers are buying your books. Maybe they are. Michael, when Michael is just a little guy, we call him the rock star cartoonist because that's the title of one of his comic books. But when Michael was just a little guy, he wanted to be a cartoonist. He had a dream that when he grew up, he could draw like children's books or maybe comic books or, something. Comic strips. And for the last couple of years, Michael's been selling books on Amazon.com. Click the links below. And we got the Amazon check this month, $140. Not to brag or anything. I know that's not our way.
Yeah.
Never talk about money. But we made some sweet junia. So congratulations, Michael. I'm proud of you. You took some time. You drew a couple of pictures. You put it on Amazon. And some people bought the books. So check it out. Children's books in Ojibwe language. But anyway, hey, Jessica Wabooz, Mino Giga Jabe. Can we get a gold star for Jessica?
You got it. Hey, Jesse.
How you doing? And Zagame thinks he's golden. Well, Zagame, I don't want to have to scold you again, but first place gets the gold. Second place only gets a silver. Even though I think silver is more valuable than gold.
Is it really?
Yeah, I think it's a lot more expensive. But can we get a silver star for Zagame? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Zagame.
Zagame says, my phone says I'm golden. The computer shows that Jess beat me. Oh, well, there you go. Who won the gold star today? It's Jessica. Jessica says, we must have both got on the exact same time. Weird. And there was a ripple in the matrix. There was a glitch in the matrix. You guys came on exactly the same time, and the computer didn't know what to do. Well, we got to make a call. Hey, Missy's here. Boozhoo, Missy. Cousin Missy's here, sweetie.
Hey, Missy, what's going on?
How's your teeth? Missy was back at the dentist the other day.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's your own fault. When Missy was growing up, she would always eat those Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks? What's that?
Remember that? You get a packet of Pop Rocks. And I don't even know what it is. It's some kind of candy food that when you put it in your mouth, and they would come in like grape and strawberry.
Oh, I remember Pop Rocks now.
Yeah. And when it connected with your spit in your mouth, it would make it go. And they called them Pop Rocks. And I'm guessing it was some kind of combination of sugar and like supercharged fizzy something or other. But that's really bad for your teeth. So now all these years later, Missy's like, oh, I got another cavity. What happened? Well, you know what happened? Pop Rocks. So kids, let your old Auntie Missy be a warning. Lay off the Pop Rocks if you don't want to spend the rest of your life in a dentist chair. Or maybe it's something else. I don't really know.
Yeah.
So anyway. La 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 di da di dum bum bottom. Missy says, I love Pop Rocks. Still do. See, that's my point. You're going to have to make some hard decisions. We're going to have an intervention for Missy. Can't you see, in the following ways, your dependence on Pop Rocks have affected my life? The little girl I once knew is gone. Now she's got that addiction to Pop Rocks. If you do not take this gift, I've been watching too many of those interventions.
I love Intervention.
You ever watch Intervention on HBO or whatever? Where people bully addicts into going into treatment. And they're always like super serious about it. Everyone's crying. Can't you see what you're doing to us? Anyway, that's not what this show's about, is it, sweetie? Today is a Saturday. And I got writer's block.
Do you really?
Yeah. The pressure's on and it's mounting by the minute. So, little insight on our professional lives. Monday mornings are the radio show. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo comes on every Monday on KAXE. KBXE, I don't know why I have this up here. Because the big geese, again, a geese are good, is Saturday. But I'll get to this. Monday, we have a radio show that comes out. But, not to destroy the illusion, it's not a live show. We pre-tape it. Which means usually on Fridays, we get done doing this show, and then we go sit up over there on that little laptop, and we record the radio show. And it's great, because it pays a lot of money. But so every week we got to come up with a 5-minute bit where we teach a word of the day and say something funny. So like last week we told I forget what the word of the day was, probably pigs, because we told the story of the 3 little pigs. And the week before that, I think, I don't know, Fauci called in, wanted an Indian name. So we talked about what does it take to get an Indian name, and what is an Indian name, you know, and then make it funny and informative, and 5 minutes long. When they weren't paying us much of anything, it was super easy to do. Because who cares? $50? Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me turn on the microphone. Hi, folks. Today is Ojibwe word, Monday. You know, Ishwa Anima Gisha Good. Day after prayer day. Write it down. And my name's Nanaboozhoo. You know, have a lovely day. Boom. But now, they gave us a big old raise, so now I feel like the pressure's on. I got to make it good. So we kept trying to get into the mood yesterday after we did the show. Thinking, okay, what can we do? We got to do the radio show. Got to do the radio show. I know. I'll take a nap, and then when I wake up, then I can do my radio show. I'll get inspired. Got up, nothing. Sat around, watched videos, you know, played the piano a little bit. You know, oh, I better feed the cat. No ideas. You know, this is what it means to be creative. You know, you got to wait for the idea to come. So then, you know, finally go to bed, wake up at what, 1 o'clock in the morning? Okay, good. I'll record it at 1 in the morning. It's real quiet here. You know, you can't hear all that traffic outside.
Yeah.
You know, this is some studio. It's totally not soundproof. But then, couldn't think about it. So now it's Saturday, and the clock is ticking. They need their little Nanaboozhoo, they need their Nanaboozhoo spot. So what I'd like to do today on this floor washing day, we're supposed to be washing floors, but we got to prepare for our show. I want to tell the story of, hey, Flat Stuff Earth is here. Boozhoo, Flat Stuff Earth. Flat Stuff Earth says, blah, blah, blah. More meme videos. What's a meme video? I meant that towards Nanaboozhoo being paid to do his job. Oh, wait. Oh, suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah, I know. Zagamaze telling me to quit whining. I know. But the problem is if we don't have anything to say. So I'm thinking what I want to teach this week. And tell me if you guys think is a dumb idea for a radio show. I would like to tell the story of Jack. Oh, wait. Neiman Wayndom. I'm happy. G-A-I-N. To be. Oma. Here. I'm happy to be here. But that's not the word. A nika is a goose. Now, back in the days of the grandfathers, they used to have this thing where guys would come up behind you, like with a yardstick, and they'd kind of smack it in your butt, and they'd go, oh, God, you just got goosed. What? Get out of here, you weirdo. But it's also an animal, a sacred animal in the animal kingdom. The goose is very sacred to the Anishinaabe. Because sometimes geese, the gooses will poop golden eggs if they live in a cloud city way up high. And the only way you can get there is big old Mushkode Simon Ushk. Mushkode Simon. Mushkode Simon is a bean. And a stalk is an ushk. Mushkode Simon Ushk is a beanstalk. Today I would like to tell the story of a little boy named Jack and his beanstalk.
I like your background.
Yeah, it's cool, huh? This is the story of Jack and the beanstalk. It should really be called something like Jack and the goblin who... Jack and the magic beans, maybe? Jack and the cow? Jack and his mom? I mean, the beanstalk... Well, I guess it's a magical part of this story. So anyway, back in the days of the grandfathers, there's a little boy named Jack. And he didn't know Jack, sweetie. Didn't he? Nope. Didn't know Jack is just dumb. Easy to fool. So one day, his mom goes, "Hey, Jack, we're really running out of Junia. We got almost no money left. I'm starving to death. Why don't you take that cow, go into town, and sell it. Get us some money. I can buy some food." And Jack goes, "Well, maybe I don't know Jack, Mom, but we got a perfectly good cow. Why don't we just butcher the cow? That's some steak." She goes, No, just do what I say. Go into town, sell the cow. Don't let some little goblin fool you. You know? Like last time. He's like, "I won't, Mom. What do you think? I'm dumb?" She goes, "Okay, now. Go on now." So Jack gets up just early, and he starts walking into town with his old cow. Gets to the bridge, and what happens? Well, once again, there's a little Jewish goblin. He's like, "Hey there, Jack. What you got there?" He goes, "I got a cow here. I'm going to bring it into town. And, sell it. We need the money." The little goblin goes, "Hey, tell you what, man. How about I trade you? We'll have a good trade. You Indians are into that, aren't you?" And Jack goes, What are you talking about?" He goes, "Here, I got some beans." He goes, "Nah, you can't fool me again. I remember last time I traded you my bike for beans. That was stupid." He goes, No. These are different. These are magical beans. You take these beans here and, who knows what can happen." And Jack goes, "Your promises isn't a trick?" He goes, "No, I'm telling you, man, this is really beans. Magic beans, I mean." He goes, "Well, okay. My mom's not going to be happy, but all right, trade." So he gives him the cow, and he takes the magic beans, and he goes back home. His mom's in there, and she goes, "What are you doing back so soon?" He goes, I sold the cow." She goes, "Really, already? How much you get?" So I got some magic beans." She goes, "Jack, I told you, don't be... That goblin, he knows you're an idiot. Why did you sell our perfectly good... You could have gotten hundreds of dollars for that. Maybe I don't know how much a full-grown cow goes for. $1,000? How many pounds was that thing?" He goes, "No, Ma, it's cool. I got some magic beans. I don't know what they'll do. Maybe they'll give us magic powers or something. Let's eat them." And she goes, "You are such an idiot. No, I'm not going to cook up a handful of sweaty beans for supper. And I'll sit down and I'll make some macaroni soup. I'll make some mac soup." And she just takes those beans and she throws them out the window. She says, "Son, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. But, So she makes them dinner and whatever. Finally, they go to bed. Meanwhile, them beans, they sunk into the ground outside. And they took root. And they started to grow. And grew into a beanstalk. And in one night, it went from being just a bean, and it kept growing and growing and growing. It went all the way up into the sky, past the clouds. Well, Jack and his mom wake up the next morning. They're like, "Oh, wow, Ma, look. There's a big old beanstalk outside. I told you those beans are magic." And Jack's mom goes, "Oh, that's wonderful, Jack. Imagine the size of the beans we could get from this beanstalk. We can eat just bean for the rest of our lives. We'll never go hungry again. Well done, son. Trading that cow, which we could have eaten and then been hungry again in a month. Instead, you made a giant beanstalk. We can feed the whole village with the giant beans." And Jack goes, "Man, I'm going to climb up that beanstalk, see what's way up there past the clouds." And Jack's mom goes, "What are you, crazy? No, don't do that. It's dangerous. You fall, you die." He goes, No, I'll be okay." So he starts climbing up that beanstalk. And he climbs and he climbs and he climbs. And oh wow, he's way up high. You can see just for miles. Still no curve. He climbs and he's way up there past like where airplanes go. And he looks out, no curve. Keeps climbing and climbing. He gets closer to the sun. And yet it gets colder up there. That's what's so weird. Why is there snow on top of mountains? But keeps climbing and climbing. And he gets up to where the firmament is. The glass dome. He steps out. And sure enough, there's giants living up there. And it's like, oh, this is really some beanstalk. I climbed all the way to the top of the firmament. And he sees a goose there. He goes, what is this, Nika? What is this goose here? And the goose goes, that was a big one. And Jack goes, oh, gross, man. Did you just take a dump? He goes, no, I laid an egg. I'm a goose. Check it out. It's gold. He goes, whoa, gold? What's wrong with you? He goes, there's nothing wrong with me, man. I poop gold eggs. Go on, take it. And Jack goes, man, I'm not just taking this gold, even though this is way more generous, more money I would have gotten for the, cow and all this, already worth my trip, a gold egg. No, you know what? I'm going to take the gold egg, and I'm taking you too. And Nika, he was like, no, get your hands off me, you dirty ape. And Nika's like, no, man, I'm going to take you down. You can poop gold for us for the rest of your life. And Nika's like, no, leave me alone. Help me, please. Isn't there a giant somewhere who can help a poor Nika? This human being's trying to steal me and kidnap me and take me away from this beautiful city. Well, pretty soon, what happens? He hears a voice in the distance. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. And Jack goes, wow, you really strained that rhyme. Fum, Englishman. Why do you have an English accent way up here in the clouds? Are you guys English? But anyway, he said, oh, wow, I better run. So he starts running. And that giant goes, oh, fee, fi, fo, fum. I still smell the blood out of an Englishman. Because he was kind of racist, I guess, against English people. And Jack gets on that beanstalk, and he starts sliding down the beanstalk, and he's climbing down as fast as he can. But he can only go so fast because he's got a goose in one hand, and he's got he put the golden egg, in his shirt or something. So he's climbing down with one hand. And then there's a giant. Gets on that beanstalk. And the beanstalk's so big, even a giant can climb down it. But Jack gets to the bottom, and he quickly grabs an axe, and he just starts chopping on that tree. And that tree falls, and the giant's still so high up that when the beanstalk falls, it kills the giant, dead. The giant had a family, and a little baby giant, and a wife who loved him dearly. And he raised geese that would poop golden eggs. It was a fine Tartarian. And Jack just smiled. He goes, ha ha ha! You see what happens when you try to keep me from stealing from you? Then I will murder you. And he went home with his goose and his gold and blood on his hands. And he said, Mom, here, I brought you this goose, Nika. You will have money for the rest of your life. And here's some gold already. Why don't you make us a gold omelet? I'm hungry after all my killing. But I also killed a giant. And the beanstalk's dead, so we can't feed the people with their beans anymore. And this is a story of Jack and a beanstalk and a golden goose. That's a good story, sweetie. Thank you. To learn more about Jack and the beanstalk, but I can't tell that on the radio show. I know. All right. Well, I think we learned that much. So what are we going to do for the radio show? I have no idea. Well, it's November. You could teach them the Ojibwe word for November. Well, that's a problem. We did that last year. They're going to remember. You think so? No, you're right. They're not going to remember. Monday will be the first day. We can do November. Today is Ojibwe word of the day. Or Monday will be Goshkadino Jesus. It is the freezing over moon. Freezing over moon. That's what they call November, huh?
Yep, because it gets cold.
Yep. And pretty soon it'll be winter again. Are you guys ready? Sagame says, Nanaboozhoo, this is more than 5 minutes for the radio show. Yeah, see, it's not going to work. La la la. Oh, see who else is here. Brandy Marie showed up. Hey, Boozhoo, Brandy Marie. Brandy's here, sweetie.
Well, Boozhoo, Brandy Marie, my sister from another mister.
Your sister from another mister?
Yep, that's what Brandy is.
Wally Bear's here. Miigwech Jessica. Now I know why she hates that B word. I will not say it again. The B word. Rhymes with itch. You should never say that word. Or say it all you want. All it means is a female dog, right?
I think it's a mother dog.
A mother dog is a bitch. Hello, kids. A bitch is not a swear word if you use it in context. If you're like a first, second grader watching the show right now and you want to go to school, and this, as let's say show and tell, you can show a picture of a mama dog and say, hey, teacher, I'm show and tell today. This is a picture of a bitch. And you'll be okay. They can't say it. They'll say, well, hey, don't say that. No, you're the one who's misusing the word. I'm just showing you a picture of my bitch.
Don't swear.
I mean, the medical, It's kind of like, this is where I got started with challenging the political correctness. Like the term retarded. Retarded is the politically correct term when people started getting sensitive about the terms idiot and moron. In the old days, it was just a category for IQ. And people with below like 25 IQ or below 50 or something were on the scale of moron. And then when you got higher, whatever, it went to idiot, and then average, and then whatever. And pretty soon people were like, hey man, my kid's got Down syndrome. He is an idiot. Why don't you guys quit using that word? That's offensive to us. Quit saying idiot. My son is an idiot. And from now on, can't you be more sensitive? And they're like, okay, no, we don't mean your son. Your son's got Down syndrome. He's not an idiot. From now on, we're going to call people with Down syndrome mentally retarded. Retarded. His mental, his development is retarded. Like a fire retardant. But then a few years go by and pretty soon people are calling each other retards. They're like, hey, quit using that word. That's offensive. My son's a retard. Like, no, wait. I don't mean people with Down syndrome. Any more than how come you're not getting mad when I called somebody an idiot? I don't mean your son. Hey. From now on, So now when I call somebody stupid, I just say, hey, man, you're developmentally disabled. Like, hey, how dare you? You retard. That's an offensive term. Oh, really? You're going to be a bitch about it? What's with you? I don't know. Hello, children. Just swearing up a storm. I'm a big fan of cats. Yeah, me too. What was I thinking about cats today? Because it's Halloween's coming up. Hide your black cats. Every year there's the cops have to give like some sort of warning that there's in every town across the country there's a group of weirdos who will abduct cats for who knows what. And black cats especially are favored cats for, we don't know who's doing this. Why Well, I know who's doing it. Satan-worshipping witches. But a lot of people's black cats go missing and get abducted around Halloween. Because people who listen to Marilyn Manson think it's cool, you know. Oh, give me a black cat. I'm going to sacrifice it on the altar. You know. I'm going to please my dark lord and master. Yeah, well, you come near my black cat, we'll both scratch your face. And I got fingernails underneath these gloves. Because I play guitar, huh, sweetie?
Yeah.
No. Wally Bear's here. Miigwech, Jessica. Oh, wait. I already read that. Breaking news. Roblox has been offline. Kids freaking out everywhere. What's a Roblox?
I think it's a website or something.
Jessica's got 5 cats. I saw a great cartoon. Batman's in like this old lady's house, and she's an old cat lady. And and he goes, and there's an old lady with like curlers and a whole bunch of cats and like cat litter boxes and whatever. And he's saying, "Somehow you're not what I pictured, Catwoman." Oh, la, la. Grassroots hates Indian givers. Hey, that's a racist term, you racist Indian giver. That's one of those things where it's like, you gotta go, why is that racist? It's like, hey, let's all sit Indian style. Hey, you don't mind? No, I mean East Indian style, like, Buddha. Oh, well, we sat that way too. I mean cross-legged in a circle? Indian style? But when you're an Indian giver, what does that mean? You give something away and then you want it back. Kind of like how we gave our land away and then later on said, hey, come on, we want that back. Give us back our land. We want all of the land. Our country 'tis of thee, belongs to the Anishinaabe. Comes back a land. That's like that fake outrage when I heard this guy say it. Colleges are all about making people feel accountable for things they didn't do to people who pretend to have wounds from injustices they didn't experience.
Yikes, that's a complicated idea.
Yeah. College makes white people feel responsible for things they didn't do. They never owned slaves. They had nothing to do with genociding indigenous people, relocating, whatever. It had nothing to do with that. And modern people of color are feeling like the burn of crimes against them they've never experienced, like racism. Come on, you guys, be honest. Here, that guy's following me around in the store. It's not racism. It's because he knows you're a criminal. He's doing his job. But most of us, like by the time I got out of college, I was looking for racism everywhere. It was almost made my day when somebody would say something sort of stupid, or I could perceive as being racist. Hey, man. Why do you assume that I blah, 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 whatever. But I just couldn't find it. And I finally got to an age where somebody asked me, what's it like living in Bemidji? Is that a pretty racist place? I'm like, oh, man. I went, I don't know. If I'm being honest. Okay, I personally, in my walk, I haven't met a racist yet. And I grew up in the sticks in a small town with rednecks. I've met rednecks. I've met people who eat squirrel, who have nicknames like Squirrel. I've met white guys who don't wear shoes and, drive tractors and pickups, and missing teeth, whatever. But they weren't really racist. They might say dumb words. They're not politically correct, but they weren't racist. They didn't hate anybody. They didn't oppress anyone. You know, the school I grew up in, no, nobody was ever, down with the Indians. No. I don't remember there ever once being a time where someone like, we don't like your kind. Never got arrested. Never even had a bad experience with a cop, if I was being honest. If anything, I got jobs that I wasn't qualified for because I was an Indian. There was like an Indian privilege in Bemidji. People would, got a song played on a radio because I talked about my Indian grandfather's boarding school experience. I've had, cartoons published. Well, Michael, all your books and Ojibwe and stuff. If anything, it seems like people kind of treat you sort of special when you're native in Bemidji. Like, hey, here he comes, Chief Bemidji. Nice. Like, I remember when Tonto came out, or Lone Ranger. It's like, hey, have you seen Lone Ranger? That was a good movie. I brought the kids to see it. Let me know. Hey, I'm glad. So, anyway, should I talk about where the wild things are?
You could.
Or should I play the song?
If you play the song, we're going to run out of time.
I could save where the wild things are until tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let me see what the Boozhoo crew's up to. Thallium the 69th. I think I found proof that the Luciferian serpent that questioned Eve is not Satan. Since even a dragon has lizard feet, there is no evidence that Satan crawled on his belly at any time. Yeah, there's a lot of those stories about Satan. I don't know if they're in the Bible or if they were in Paradise Lost. I've read the Genesis story and it says the serpent. And later on, Jesus refers to Satan as that old dragon. And what's a dragon? Are dragons real? But then somewhere I heard that after the fall, he cast out Adam and Eve to toil in the fields for all their days. And then he was so mad at the serpent, he made him crawl on his belly and eat dust. But if he was already a serpent, that's not much of a punishment. It's like, hey, you evil fish, I'm going to make you swim in the waters of your entire days. Your face will never be dry again. And the fish is like, oh, okay. That's some punishment. So, I don't know. Luciferian serpent. Dennis Flyer stuff. Another rainy day. And 2 crew. Yeah. It's just another manic Saturday. La 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 la. Audio keeps going away. Oh, does it really? There's my microphone. Sorry. I think I might have a bad connection. I noticed the video did something weird too. I just don't know sometimes. Maybe I will play that song.
Okay.
Here's a song. Let me talk a little about something personal. You ever have a relationship and then you break up? And you always wonder, will I ever see that person again? I had a buddy. I don't think it was you. What's that? He was talking about breaking up with a girl. And he goes, I was scared to marry her because I thought marriage was forever. But when we broke up, I didn't think that would be forever. I thought I would always have an option to go back and maybe later get married. But when we broke up, she found somebody else, and then she got married. And so that was forever too. Either way, you're making a forever commitment. We will either be together forever or we'll never be together again. And years go by. And after a while, sometimes you wonder, will I ever see you again? Okay, this is about me. It's a big country. And even though we're just an email away, just a Facebook click away to connecting with somebody you haven't seen in decades, you don't do it. And you wonder, will I ever see you again? And sometimes you realize, you know what? I don't think I am. I'm never going to see you again. And I wonder about you sometimes. Do you watch this show? Do you wonder if you'll ever see me again? Anyway, so this is for you. Will I ever see you again? And up next is Natasha. And on the drums, Mukwa the bear. Oh, he's sleeping. All right, Miigwech Bizendawiyag. Thank you for listening.
Hey, Boozhoo. Welcome back to the show. My name is Mukwa. Mukwa Nandija Nakaz. And we're going to do a little song for you right about now. The song is called Will I Ever See You Again? All right, you all ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready, Nanaboozhoo?
Oh, yeah, whenever you are. All right, let's do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go.
Casual fight by candlelight as the room grew dim. You lied to me when you talked about him. I remember your ways and you and me in a sad embrace. I remember a place where you pulled me close and you kissed my face. Well, will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll ever see you again. I remember one day, and you and me in a pouring rain, water ran down my chin. So you pulled me close and you drank it in. I remember your ways, and you and me in a sad embrace. But I remember a place where you pulled me close and you kissed my face. Will I ever see you again? No, I don't think I'll
Michael Lyons, that's you.
All right, that was real good, everyone. Well, thank you for watching Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Mukwa, and I will see you again. Gigawaba men, Menawa, Hoa.
Miigwech. That means thank you. Miigwech. Thank you for a
Hey,
beautiful
Boozhoo.
song.
Welcome back to the show.
Somebody's on loop. Yeah. So what is this? Did we get a community guideline strike? System of Control says, your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. Your channel now has 1 strike. Is this real? I don't know. What is System of Control? I just thought that was somebody's name. Doing it right everywhere. Just helping out this channel. What are you talking about? And how come that video was so glitchy? I don't know. I hope we don't have a community guidelines strike. Is it because we were saying retarded? Maybe. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend any retards. I'm 10. Oh, hi there. Well, hello. Welcome to Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo. Oh, now we're in trouble. Come on, Boozhoo crew. Let's all behave. The kids are here. So I should be watching YouTube. I'm at 13. Yeah, I mean, watch whatever you like. YouTube is just like going into the library. People are like, oh, don't go to YouTube. There's misinformation. It's like, what? It's just all information. You might as well say libraries. Oh, what, you read books? You know, where do you get your information? It's like, well, all places of getting information are suspect. Thallium the 69 says, retard is a musical term for slowed down tempo. Yeah, that's right. It's like when you're kind of coming to an end, you know, da 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 da. Yeah, that was a retard in the tempo. Thank you, Thallium. My teacher said it's a bad word. Okay. It's bad. Okay. That's bad. Okay. You know. That's the beauty of kids and wanting to swear. Swearing is just exercising your freedom of speech rights. What is that, the First Amendment? Yeah, I think so. You know, kids want to know right away, what are the words we can't say? Well, there's the F word, and there's the N word, and, you know, in context, you just better be careful when you say the L word, the G word, the B word, the Q word, the T word, the plus word, the 2S word, and the MAP word. You know, they're always like, okay, so this is my arsenal of dangerous words I'm going to say when I want to feel free. Oh, really? I can't say the F word, can I? Well, guess who's going to swear up a storm? I still remember when I was a kindergartner, there was a little girl in our class named Andy Lundahl. And Andy, on the first day of class, nobody knew each other. The teacher leaves the room. Oh, by the way, good supervision of 5 and 6-year-olds, by the way, Mrs. Haley. But she leaves us alone. So Andy goes up to the chalkboard. They didn't even have whiteboards in those days. It was a chalkboard, a little piece of chalk and a green board. And she runs up there. She goes, A, S, as. And then she added another S. And she goes, and another S says, as. us. And then we all erupted cracking up. That was the funniest, most dangerous thing we'd ever seen. And she sits down and she leaves it up there. And the teacher comes in and she just cleans it off, doesn't even say anything. But we thought it was so, I don't know. She was amazing. Just a rebel in kindergarten, saying a dirty word. Sometimes I feel like a Mason. I'm Zayden Alt. Well, Zayden Alt, do you feel like a Freemason? Are you part of a secret society? Did you discover masonry buildings that were already here in the so-called New World? And were you part of an elaborate worldwide deception of a false history, a false narrative, where instead of this being an untouched Wild West of primitive Native Americans, instead, the North American continent was littered with cities that were abandoned with no people whatsoever. After a great mud flood or something where the cities sank and were destroyed. Are you part of the allegiance to Satan and the Illuminati? What am I talking about? I don't know. Well, so I see her, Zayden Alt. You gotta feel like a Mason. Yeah, I gotta hide them from the Chinese all year round. Oh no. Can you make racial jokes about Chinese music? La 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 la. Nobody likes Chinese music. There's a reason why America dominates the culture worldwide. Because our music is so much better than anything China's ever done. La 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 la. China people can't sing or play music very well. I'm sorry, but it's true. You know what I'm saying is true. I'm writing a song with that one stereotypical do 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 do. Actually, if you think about it, remember the song Let's Dance, not Let's Dance, China Girl by David Bowie? Yeah, that song starts out with a dee 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 dee, and then he goes into the G, A minor, blue. I would be, no, that's Heroes. How does China Girl go? I'm a mess without my little China girl. Wake up in the morning, where's my little racial stereotype? Yeah, Bowie was kind of a racist too, huh? You know, there were some, he was kind of part Freemason, I think. Really? Well, I think it was part of the satanic, Aleister Crowley guys. But, yeah, there was a lot of talk about his early years that he was kind of into fascism and Nazism. Really? Yeah, the whole Thin White Duke thing. But yeah, on, what's that called? China Girl. You ever notice when he sings, oh baby, just you shut your mouth. Yeah, like mouse. Yeah, mouse. He sings it like a person who can't say mouth. Oh, baby, just you shut your mouth. She said, do-do-do-do, whatever. I don't know. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Why is that racist to play that song? La 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 la. Just like our booze, you gotta hide them. Oh, Donison, oh, Donna. Oh, Donison, oh, Donison, Halloween, see me, solar flare. Halloween. I literally just finished scooping the litter box, says Jessica. Yeah, you're probably scooping litter boxes all day long. 5 cats. She's got a regular zoo over there. Zagame says, I have a dog that eats cats. You get one of those mean res dogs that actually does go through with killing the cats. Hey, res dogs! You didn't get the memo? You're just playing. You're not supposed to actually kill the cats. I know, I've known some dogs too that just straight up killed a cat with their mouth because they were like wild dogs. That meant I can't have a cat until he dies. Oh, it was your own dog that did that? Yeah. Well, those darn dogs. I got one of those automatic cat litter boxes. Too, I should say, I got 2 cats. Automatic cat litter. Oh, I should look into that. I saw a video once where the guy had trained his cat to use the toilet and flush. It was the most amazing thing. He goes, yeah, well, what you do, you start with putting the litter box right on the toilet seat. And so for months, she just went to the toilet seat litter box. It was always there. And little by little, they took away the litter box until she would just poop and pee in the toilet. And then flush it. Got a treat. It was just on with her day. Trained a cat. I mean, that's hard to do. Cats don't like being told what to do. Earth 100. I was promised a helper monkey. A helper monkey. That's what we should get for people with PTSD. You know, like guys who come back from war. They're like, oh, let's get him a dog. Help him with his trauma. What if we got him monkeys? It's like some guy. He's all jumpy from war. He's sitting in his little apartment, scared, drinking whiskey. You go, oh no, don't be afraid. We brought you a helper monkey. Thing just goes wild inside, you know, jumping on him. Thallium says, I dropped out of more colleges than most people get accepted to. You know, you're probably lucky for it. I went to college. I dropped out a number of times, wild, but I kept going back to the same one until I finally graduated. But then it took me another 20 years to like deprogram myself from all the brainwashing I got. It's a wonder I can think at all. La 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 la. Do 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 do. So, what did we learn today, sweetie? I spent too much time talking about Jack and the Beanstalk. Yeah, we learned nobody cares about Jack and the Beanstalk. Gizabiki, Sakunage, geese are good. It's floor washing day. Go wash your floors. We gotta vacuum up the hallway again. Yeah, we might as well do the whole place. And we gotta do that radio show. What are we gonna do? Just Monday and November? Should we have somebody call in? Should we have Alec Baldwin call in? Yeah, can we? I kind of feel like our humor on the radio needs to be a little more G-rated. Not that would be dirty, but I sort of feel like public radio doesn't want to hear us poking fun at Alec Baldwin for some reason. I don't know, we'll talk about it. So, floor washing day. We also learned Neiman Wayndom means I'm happy. J-A-I-N means to be. Oma here. And actually, you know what? Little bonus word. Noon goom. Today. Neiman Wayndom. G-A-I-N. Oma noon goom. I'm happy to be here today. Sue me. Give me a community guideline strike if you must. But I'm happy to be here on YouTube. I don't even care about all the censorship. I'm just happy to be part of the gang, you know? Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? You want to call it a show? Yeah. I officially ran out of stuff. Oh, Oh, and then Jack and the Beat when nobody cares. Hey, everybody. Michael, did you want to say anything before I sign out? Oh, that's pretty good, though. Okay. Hey, you guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. I want to say, miigwech pisandawiyeg. Thank you for listening. And miigwech gonawabieg. Thank you for watching. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Boozhoo Nanaboozhoo, miigwech, thank you. Sweetie, will you teleport me away? Baby. There you got it. See you tomorrow. One to teleport. Make it so, number one. Energize. Energizing. Energize. Come on.